الحمد لله القائل يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا صدق الله العظيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فيا أيها المسلمون اتقوا الله أوصيكم وإياي بتقوى الله فقد فاز المتقون قال الله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Sidang Jumaat yang dirahmati Allah sekalian, let us have the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by fulfilling all His commands and avoiding all of His prohibitions. May we all continue to be bestowed with goodness in this world and in the hereafter. The topic of the khutbah today is our children, our future. What's our role? Children are the amanah that have been entrusted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us to be nurtured and educated to become useful human beings. This is to ensure that they are capable of taking over the role in bringing prosperity in the future to the best of their ability, nourished with fitrah within every human being that existed since their birth into this world. In the hadith of Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Kullu mawludin yuladu 'ala al-fitrah, fa abawahu yuhawwidanihi aw yunassiranihi aw yumajjisanihi." Every child is born with a true faith of Islam, yani fitrah, and his parents convert him to Judaism or Christianity or Magianism. The obligation of ensuring the fitrah to continues to blossom within the children without being tainted by evil until they grow older is the very responsibility of the parents or guardians. Such efforts can be realized by providing quality education and guidance to the children, especially with regard to the religion. Authentic religious knowledge can serve as guidance in differentiating between truth and falsehood. Religious knowledge can also encourage one to always remain in the obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, striving to uphold the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and always seeking the opportunity to serve religion, people and nations. These generations will then become insan Rabbani and will be among those granted good by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This coincides with the hadith recorded by Imam Al-Bukhari and Muslim on the authority of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan. The Prophet said, when Allah wished good for someone, He bestows upon him the understanding of the religion or the deen. Aside from that, efforts in instilling sound comprehension of the religion through education upon the children can become the agenda in saving ourselves and our families from the burning hellfire. This measure is in accordance with the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He mentioned in the 6th verse of Surah At-Tahrim that we recited at the beginning of the khutbah, which means, O you who believe, protect yourself and your families from a fire. We must remember, if there are no dedicated efforts made in providing sound religious understanding and not carried out with diligence, surely the children will grow up to become individuals that are corrupt and disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The favors of having children bestowed upon us will become the asbab or the reason for us to be punished on the day of judgment if we remain heedless in fulfilling our very responsibilities. Allah said, وَاتَّقُوا الَّذِي أَمَدَّكُمْ بِمَا تَعْلَمُونَ أَمَدَّكُمْ بِأَنْعَامٍ وَبَنِينَ وَجَنَّاتٍ وَعُيُونٍ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابَ يَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ. And fear He who provided you with that which you know, provided you with grazing livestock and children, and gardens and springs. Indeed, I fear for you the punishment of a terrible day. Beloved Muslim, educating the children so that they will truly comprehend the religion is not easy task, and it could not be taken lightly, especially in this modern era that is filled with various challenges. The difficulties would intensify with the existence of new norms in life as direct impact from the COVID-19 pandemic that began last year. But that cannot be made an excuse to raise the children with negligence. Rather, we are to fulfill those responsibilities with intensified efforts. The Prophet said, "Inna Allah yuhibbu idha amila ahadukum amalan an yutqinah." Indeed, Allah loves one who, when he does a work, he does it with itqan, yani excellence. The method that is to be adopted in educating must have variation and appropriateness according to the time and circumstances. According to Dr. Abdullah Nasih Ulwan, in his work entitled Tarbiyatul Awlad fil Islam, among the effective teaching methods are as follows. Number one, education through exemplary. Education through exemplary is the most effective method upon the children. This is because children would see good example from their parents, hence they would also follow upright principle. If parents went to see their children as being honest, trustworthy, compassionate, and avoiding falsehood, then the parents must provide a good example, which is by doing good deeds, avoiding evil, having noble akhlaq, following the truth, and abandoning falsehood. Number two, education through habits. Children were born upon fitrah. The regular habits within their surroundings will affect them, whether they will remain upon their fitrah or its opposite. To ensure that children continues to grow in fitrah, it necessitates upbringing that includes all sorts of virtuous habits. The parent must provide good environment in raising them. Number three, education through advice. Advice can open the minds of the children upon the reality of a matter and drive them to pursue noble deeds, decorate themselves with excellent akhlaq, as well as comprehending the importance of Islamic education. Such is the reason that the verse of the Quran and narration of the Prophet are filled with advice. Nasihah that are filled with hikmah are to be conveyed to the children in educating them. Number four, and the last, education through observation. Education through observation means to track, accompany, observe, and supervise the children in developing their aqidah, akhlaq, psychological and social aspect. This can be done by always inquiring the children with regard to aspects of their physical being or even academic achievement. Hopefully, these methods will be able to provide them comprehension upon matters of the religion, improving their akhlaq and solidifying their thoughts, serving as provision in this world and the hereafter. If all of this can be attained, definitely it will become the guiding compass in realizing the hope that our children are the future of the nation. With that, may Malaysia continue to become a peaceful and prosperous nation lasting forever. Sidang jemaah yang dirahmati Allah sekalian, to end the khutbah this week in conjunction with World Children's Day that is celebrated every year, with this year's theme being our children, our future, I sincerely implore, number one, let us all together safeguard and educate our children that have been entrusted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. The Muslim Ummah must ensure that the children's education will shape them into becoming righteous children that are always supplicating for the well-being of their parents in this world and the hereafter. Number three, the parents must ensure that the children's future is stable and balanced in terms of aqidah, akhlaq, emotion and others. بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وليخشى الذين لو تركوا من خلفهم ذرية ضعافا خافوا عليهم فليتقوا الله وليقولوا قولا سديدا. And let those guardians fear as if they had left weak children behind and feared for them. So let them fear Allah and speak words of appropriate justice. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات والذكر الحكيم وتقبل مني ومنكم تلاوته إنه هو السميع العليم. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المسلمين ورزقنا من الطيبات. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله أوصيكم وإياي بتقوى الله فقد فاز المتقون. Dear blessed audience, once more I would like to remind all of us to always have the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by guiding ourselves and our families from abominable deeds and disobedience against Allah. At the same time, we will continue to pray so that our country will always remain blessed and protected from all forms of threat as well as contagions from the COVID-19 pandemic. May we become among the slaves of Allah that are patient while enduring all disease afflicted, disciplined in adhering to the standard operating procedures SOP and deriving lessons from everything that has happened. Always vigilant and mindful, though we have been given a bit of freedom to move around. This is because the entire nation is still fighting the COVID-19 pandemic for the sake of our own safety and the society as a whole. For those that are truly affected by this pandemic, don't take the easy way out by harming and injuring ourselves. We must be selfless, patient, and strong mentally and physically, built upon solid iman. Let us all together increase our salawat upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Allah has commanded. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد ومولانا محمد سيد المرسلين، وارض اللهم عن أصحابه وقرابته وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. ويا قاضي الحاجات. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأهلك الكفرة والمبتدعة والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم إنا نسألك ونتوسل إليك بنبيك الأمين ونسألك بأسمائك الحسنى وصفاتك العظمى أن تحفظ بعين عنايتك ربانية وبحفظ وقايتك الصمدانية جلالة ملكنا المعظم سلطان سلانغور سلطان شرف الدين إدريس شاه الحاج ابن المرحوم سلطان صلاح الدين عبد العزيز شاه الحاج. اللهم آدم العود والهداية والتوفيق والصحة والسلامك لولي عهد سلانغور تنكو أمير شاه ابن سلطان شرف الدين إدريس شاه الحاج في أمن وصلاح وعافية بمنك وكرامك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم عاقل عمرهما مصلحين للموظفين والرعية والبلاد وبلغ مقاصدهما لطريق الهدى والرشاد. إن الله اللهم يا دافع البلاء ادفع عنا هذا الوباء والبلاء والمرض والشدائد والمحن بلطفك يا لطيف إنك على كل شيء قدير وبالإجابة جدير. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم واسألوه من فضله يعطكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقيموا الصلاة.